Okay, afternoon PlayBASIC coders. If you think your life sucks, well, I've had a tremendous couple of days. I wanted to move across all of the update history, the release history, and the betas, and I thought, well, there's only a small amount of that data, isn't there? Surely there's a small amount. The updates I've done, as you've already seen, there is more than this than you can see, but we haven't done the navigation yet. That's easy. Not worried about that. The betas is not hooked up yet, and here's why. So flip across this page here. This is pretty much the beta history of PlayBASIC and PlayBASIC Effects going all the way back to revision 1.15. I think the oldest one is. And there are links back further than that, but those links seem to be broken on the forum, so I'm not going back any further than that. And what I have to do is mangle this text into a way that we can make a little database out of it, and this is just for beta releases. I'm going to make two of them because this massive blob of data, which I'll show, we'll page through, just page down, this massive blob of data, it's very samey, which is good. So we can just scan through our little record markers, and that's our individual piece of the text, and then we'll get our titles from there and get our dates. A lot of them didn't have release dates, and the titles are different formats, and there's different divisions through here that I'll need to run through and skim out. But for most of those, and even these things here, we've got links to files. These need to be updated because all these old links won't work. And the ones that link to forums, I'll have to probably go through and check. I think if they're newer links like that, they should be still okay. Other ones may not be, particularly older records. But what I wanted to show you was this, is that, so I think there are like 20 pages of these releases on the forum, and this works out to be, drum roll, 53,000 and change lines of text. These dates here for these last couple of records, they're actually wrong. At some point I was trying to put all these things in one place and took the old posts and put them into one record. So I might have deleted those old posts actually. Version 16, back in 2006 sometime, probably early, maybe late 2005, you never know. That's what I mean about how there's been text inside these things. A lot of these betas, there's not much text in them. There's not that much of a great need to keep them, right? And I'll get when I'm doing the processing code to build a database, I'll probably be a bit more mean about them and trying to reduce the number of records there are. These are all PlayBASIC records here. When you go back a bit further, it's like going up, numbers of pages. Where are we then? We're into 1.3 territory. So we need to go back to about 1.63, 1.5. So these ones have example code in them, and that's why I want to keep them. Not that the example code is probably going to be that useful today, or people will ever really see it that much, but old examples do actually have some purpose there. You can sort of see when something was added and how it shaped up and changed over time. How far back are we going? Installation 163, it's pretty close. But mingled through here, there we go. So 167. Now what this is where the two products split apart around this the end of 2006 and became the effects strand, but it wasn't called this then. It was just 167. This is why we have these weird version numbers, right? So 165 actually already exists. There's an older build of PB that was called that years ago. There it is there. 2007. This is a different version of PB than the one that we know today is 165. This is the version that has the attachment to the DirectX 7 using the 3D only solution, well, DirectDraw and 3D solution, as opposed to just DirectDraw. It's saying that there actually. PB165 is a second work in progress alpha of PB running the new DX7. So at the time, the thinking was going to kind of switch across, kind of morph across and do the two things like that, rather than have a delete everything day and take you back to a blank screen and with no features. And the answer is probably not. It's probably a bad way of doing it, actually. It's very difficult to maintain the whole thing and keep it running stable against what you already have, and lots of things from old PB wouldn't work properly with the 3D because they either don't exist in 3D hardware, or you've got limitations in texture sizes way back then. Now it's not. Now it's actually a non-issue. A lot of those things have gone away as time has gone on. But so what I'll have to do is I'll relabel these as being effects. I'll tag them as PlayBASIC effects or something, and split this off into a beta history for just effects, and then maybe make a video somewhere or something like that where it explains why there's these two different strands, and we'll keep the effects stuff on there for a legacy sake. Like, I won't be updating those old DX7 versions unless there's a very good reason to do so. I can't really think of a good reason to do so now. I'd much rather push ahead with where we are from the 165 classic PB strand, tear away all the command sets, and then attach a new graphics engine to it afterwards. So we might have ideally we'll have a selection of choices where we'll have a very simple engine. We can do a simple screen display, some simple primitive rendering, that kind of stuff, which will suit a lot of programs, but not all of them. And we'll have other ones where we try and recreate maybe the existing command set more thoroughly, or other ones where we just implement new commands completely. Or they have no legacy, no fallback support at all. You can probably emulate them, but that's up to the community. Or possibly me, I guess, at some point. But this is going to be my life. This has been my life for the last couple of days, putting all the text together. I've made a bunch of corrections to it already, which is, you wouldn't notice, but so yeah, but I do need to get the splitter or get the phraser now to break the records up and try and add them to the appropriate database and clean up the titles and I mean, things like that one there too. Thankfully, I'm not going to keep the old downloads. I mean, if they're really old downloads, many of them don't exist. Even if there's a link, the files aren't actually there, they're gone. We're talking about, almost 20 years ago, so it's unlikely that stuff is going to sit on the server forever. 164. Yeah, this is kind of meant to be the last builds. 164 here, right? Oh, there you go. 164 was the first one where it's becoming effects. This is the DX7 command set stuff. 6.3. There is blog posts that do go through this thing. The thinking at the time is to split the two in two products and try and keep them going, and try and share as much as possible. But it just really became awkward, and it's too big. By the time you've got 1,000 commands, you've got a lot of overlap to try and keep everything in your head when you're editing something, and then things just didn't work properly, and it's challenging. I think when we move forward with the next ones, we'll harvest the best bits out of what we already have, and then we'll keep those, and we'll throw the rest away and try and reimagine what we should have today. But my point is that my life at the moment is just going to be editing old text files into shaping up into a database. Hopefully I can get it. Like I know I can grab the titles and that through here pretty easily, and we can get rid of these headings and I had to write a special date phrase because there's a mishmash of how dates are represented in some of these old files. That some of them have, in that format there, we've got the month, day, and the year. There's other ones where they're backwards, like you might have like this sort of thing, or the other ones are abbreviations where it might, just might have November or something like that, 9th. It's funny how much secondary fiddling you have to do to drag this thing to make it consistent. Because what I'll do on the other side is on the admin side of this, we'll have a way of posting betas that's in the same consistent format. So they'll always be in the same. The articles will be in the same form all the time. Hopefully, got to get through this bit first. Anyway, dudes, thanks for watching, and I'll keep you informed on what's happening with this stuff, and hopefully we'll get it done sooner than later. But pretty much, once we do, once at least, even if the navigation is not really that implemented into the site as yet, we can make those things available to the public and get some of this account side testing done, because that's going to be the next problem, isn't it? We're going to need to get this thing tested and make sure it's running how people expect, and what's not, what's broken, we'll need to fix those things. Isn't it fun? Fun. Anyway, I'll see you dudes. Bye.